Welcome back. Welcome back. Here we are at the fabulous ELD Virtual Academy channel. Thank you so much for joining us. We are going to do our final piece for our character profile. So this is our character profile. And if you are new here, just know every time I put down my pen, it's gonna be you're gonna actually write or do something. Now, usually I have you guys write while I do this, but I'm gonna do this one a little bit differently. I'm just going to go ahead, I'm gonna show you what I did for number one and number two, and I'm gonna model an essay based on the information. So if you saw number one and number two, number one was the character profile with external traits. My character, what kind of character it is, what kind of eyes, what kind of species, what kind of hair, what's the body, what's the age, what's the height, what's the gender, what's the dress. So if you haven't done that, you need to do part one and two before doing part three. And then so for part two, it's more of the internal likes, dislikes, strengths, weaknesses, disposition, setting, and companion. This is also external, but I just have different traits. So now I'm going to take information and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to make a character profile and I'm going to write it like an essay. I'm going to write it in paragraph form. So you're going to see me, actually, I think I'm going to use this pen and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take my information from my notes and I'm going to write down, I'm going to go ahead and write it in paragraph form. So I'm going to ask you just to watch me. And then when I'm done, we'll probably read it together and then you're going to go do your own. All right. All right, here we go. We're going to indent. We always indent 2 or 3 fingers. If you are typing this, which you probably are, you're going to push button, the tab button, which is on the left of the letter Q, or you put the space bar 5 times. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start writing. So George, this is about my character. George Trunk. George Trunk is an elephant. I'm not telling a whole story. I'm just telling about him. Okay. Is an elephant who is 45 years old. George Trunk isn't so. I'm going to go here. George Trunk. He's an elephant. So I'm using all my information. And I put that he was middle age. I didn't use the word middle age. I just put 45. That's fine. And you don't have to use everything. We just want enough information so we clearly know about the character we created. Okay. He works as an accountant. He works in the fictional city of Cedarville. And I'm capitalizing the C because it's the name of a town like Richmond, San Pablo. Always should be capitalized. A fictional city of Cedarville. Okay. So I have 2 sentences right so far. Let's see. That's on this page. He works in a town called Cedarville and he is an accountant. Okay. So I'm letting you know about my character. And as I'm just going through my notes, so I have plenty of information. I don't have to think, oh no, what do I write? I have plenty of information about my character. Okay. George, capital, beginning of sentence, plus it's a name. George is of average height. George is of average height and wears a self-imposed, that means no one's telling him he has to wear a uniform. He just likes to wear the same type of thing. Self-imposed self-imposed uniform daily that consists of a button down shirt, with short sleeves and I'm going to put and a red tie. Okay. All right. So here's my next sentence. Let me see what we have so far. George Trunk is an elephant who is 45 years old. He works as an accountant in the fictional city of Cedarville. George is of average height and wears a self-imposed uniform daily that consists of a button-down shirt with short sleeves and a red tie. Oh, let me write that. Let me see. So he's kind of wears a uniform. Okay. Okay. I'm going to add one more sentence. His chunky, I like that word. His chunky frame, the build of his body, the frame, often pops out between the buttons of his shirt. Okay, so his chunky frame often pops out between the buttons of his shirt. So I'm gonna go ahead. So he's kind of fluffy, chunky, and okay. So here, I don't know if I wrote anything about his average height, but that's okay. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna read what I wrote so far. George Trunk is an elephant who is 45 years old. He works as an accountant in the fictional city of Cedarville. George is of average, oh, I did put average height, and wears a self-imposed uniform daily that consists of a button-down shirt with short sleeves and a red tie. His chunky frame often pops out between the buttons of his shirt. Okay, so I did put average. Okay, I think I have everything on this page. No, I don't. I don't have the eyes or the hair. I don't have the eyes or the hair. And that's okay, because if I skip it, I skip it. Okay, so I'm gonna start talking about who, not just how he looks. I'm gonna start talking about more of the internal things and more about his daily life. I'm gonna and it's a new paragraph. Jo George loves to bowl with his elephant friends twice a week. Okay. So he likes to bowl. I'm going to go ahead and put he likes to bowl. And that's also kind of including his bowling friends. Okay. He likes to bowl twice a week. I'm mixing up his eyes and how they glow when when he's having fun. So his hazel almond shaped eyes glisten with excitement. Glisten with excitement as he drives to the bowling alley I'm gonna say Tuesday and Friday. Each Tuesday and Friday. So he loves bowling, and I use part of how he looks, his eyes. I'm describing it, but I've linked it with bowling. Okay, so I've linked it. So I'm gonna go ahead and go back here, and I'm gonna, here are his, so his eyes, hazel eyes. Okay, and I didn't really talk about his hair yet, but that's okay. And that's about it. So George loves to bowl with his elephant friends twice a week. His hazel almond-shaped eyes glisten with excitement as he drives to the bowling alley each Tuesday and Friday. His usual sleepy demeanor, or how he is, or disposition, his usual sleepy demeanor vanishes. Well, he's usually sleepy, but when he's bowling, that sleepy demeanor goes away, vanishes for a few hours as he becomes the life of the party at the bowling alley. Oh, I need to double check how to spell alley. I'm not sure, but I will definitely check that. Okay, George loves to bowl with his elephant friends twice a week. His hazel almond-shaped eyes glisten with excitement as he drives to the bowling alley each Tuesday and Friday. His usual sleepy demeanor vanishes for a few hours as he becomes the life of the party at the bowling alley. He doesn't care. I'm gonna squeeze in his hair. He doesn't care if his blonde, thinning hair sticks out. Exclamation. He doesn't care. He is too busy helping helping too busy helping others bowl their best game. So I talked a little bit there about how he was helpful. He's helpful. So here he's helpful, okay? He So, okay, I'm going to read the second paragraph and then I'm going to do one more. I would like for you also to do 2 or 3 paragraphs, okay? Minimum of 2, but each paragraph you could see how many periods, 1, 2, 3, 4. They should have a good 3 or 4 period sentences, okay? So let's go ahead and read this. George loves to bowl with his elephant friends twice a week. His hazel almond-shaped eyes glisten with excitement as he drives to the bowling alley each Tuesday and Friday. His usual sleepy demeanor vanishes for a few hours as he becomes the life of the party at the bowling alley. He doesn't care if his blonde thinning hair sticks out. He is too busy helping others bowl their best game. See, it's important to proofread because you could catch your mistakes, okay? There is no Mrs. McTrunk, because wasn't his name George McTrunk? There is no Mrs. McTrunk. There is no Mrs. McTrunk. George is honest. George is honest with himself. George is honest with himself and knows that he and knows that he would love to continue He would love to continue enjoying his life, his life as it is. Sometimes his friends, sometimes his friends' choices, sometimes his friend get on his nerves. Get on his nerves. I'm going to the judgmental part. Remember? Do you remember here? I had said that he's a little bit judgmental. Let me find it. Where did I write that? I know. Uh he's a little bit judgmental or impatient, right? And he's honest with himself. He does not want a wife, an elephant wife. He just wants to keep bowling. Sometimes his friends' choices get on his nerves and get on his nerves and bring out his impatience. But as a whole, he is content to hang out with them all. And I think let me see, when not bowling, George enjoys being home alone, watching movies and eating pizza. I'm going to go back to the likes and dislikes. Okay, so I'm going to go back here. He likes pizza and he likes movie. I didn't really go into this. That's okay. Like I said, you don't have to use everything. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to read this whole thing. Please unmute and read with me, okay? And go. George Oliphant, who is 45 years old. He works as an accountant in the fictional city of Cedarville. George is of average height and wears a self-imposed uniform daily that consists of a button-down shirt with short sleeves and a red tie. His chunky frame often pops out between the buttons of his shirt. George loves to bowl with his elephant friends twice a week. His hazel almond-shaped eyes glisten with excitement as he drives to the bowling alley each Tuesday and Friday. His usual sleepy demeanor vanishes for a few hours as he becomes the life of the party at the bowling alley. He doesn't care if his blonde, thinning hair sticks out. He is too busy helping others bowl their best game. There is no Mrs. McChunk. George is honest with himself and knows that he would love to continue enjoying his life as it is. Sometimes his friends' choices get on his nerves and bring out his impatience, but as a whole, he is content to hang out with them all. When not bowling, George enjoys being home alone, watching movies, and eating pizza. Good job. So this was my whole character profile. This is my character, George McTrunk. He sounds like an interesting elephant man. And it's all based, every time I didn't know what to write, I just looked at what was in my notes and I was able to write this. So you guys did a great job. I look forward, your teachers I know look forward to reading this. See you next time at our fabulous YouTube channel. Bye.